almost all the indie authors that I talk to first hate marketing, and two, don't have enough time to do the marketing they should, even if they're going to grit their teeth and bear it. So I am going to kill two birds with one stone for you today by making marketing easier and faster with this one weird old hack. Just kidding. A very simple process that I will walk you through step by step. So today I will teach you to put ChatGPT in its place and make it your intern. When I graduated with my hugely valuable English degree in 2008 during the financial crisis, I was temping a lot, and I remember working for some kind of software company that did like power management for utilities, and they were having me write sections of a book for how to use their software and do PowerPoints and things like that. And of course, I was not an expert in their software, but the thing was, for people who were super busy, it was a lot cheaper for them to, have a just about minimum wage employee come in there and write a rough draft, give them a few materials and guidelines and write a rough draft that was okay with some gems, and then edit that, than to sit down and organize the information themselves at first. It was a big time saver for them. And these days, ChatGPT can be your crappy intern. So no, it doesn't know everything. Yes, a lot of its examples of what it's drawing on are average. The point of this is just to kind of set expectations of what ChatGPT can do for you really well and what it can't. Chances are, if you go to ChatGPT and say, hey, do my marketing materials, you're going to get pretty mediocre marketing materials. But just like me as an intern at one of those first jobs, if you use it to brainstorm, develop a framework or some structure, and then tweak and edit those yourself, that can be a great time-saving hack. So I will show you how to do that in this video. So specifically, what I'm going to get ChatGPT to generate in this video is what I call a book pitch, or a one-sentence summary. If you look up one-sentence summary online, it's usually people tongue-in-cheek giving you really crappy descriptions of a book, making it so that you feel like you wouldn't want to read it. So that's why I don't call it a one-sentence summary. Admittedly, what passes for a book pitch in most common lingo, what I see online is more of like a book blurb in the back. It's usually like a full-on paragraph. And I'm sorry, but in social media titles or an ad, you don't have time for a paragraph. If you want to get someone to that paragraph, you need a one-sentence description. So that's why I am leaning into a pitch. And it's great to drop in conversation. It is more shareable than a paragraph. It's more memorable than a paragraph. So there's all these reasons why really, if you want to improve your marketing, one of the first things you should do is grab that pitch, and why I'm choosing pitches today. Now, if you really want to dive into what are obstacles to writing good pitches, what makes a good pitches, and see some examples, I have a video on this channel from my discussions with indie authors in Austin about what makes a good book pitch and what grabbed us or not. And so you can check out that video. That goes into depth more than you ever wanted to know about the obstacles, what makes a good pitch, the examples, and I even take what I think in that video is an criminally undermarketed book that I like and try and give it a better one-sentence pitch. So there you go. Check out that video if you want some more background on where I'm coming from with this book pitch. But today we'll be focused really specifically just on the mechanical steps of getting into ChatGPT. There was a prompt you can copy down below. Don't even make you sign up for my email list. You can just copy the description down below, but I'll walk you through what I'm doing in the description step by step so you can tweak it yourself. Pop that into ChatGPT, and then get a bunch of book pitches. And again, the goal is to generate a ton of them, not necessarily find the perfect one, but then stitch the pieces that you like together into a pitch that is decent, or several pitches that you can then go and test. So let's break this down. So this is ChatGPT. I am using the free version, which should be accessible to all of you. I think you do have to sign up and have an account. You have to be signed in to do this, but I believe you can do it for free. For people who are willing to pay for ChatGPT, one of the things that you can actually do is make a pre-programmed ChatGPT. So for instance, if you're coming up with a lot of book pitches, or you want to create this, but maybe a little bit more elaborate, where it can come up with book pitches or a social media post, can do things of different length, and then just have that as like a permanent trained chatbot, so you don't have to throw in the prompt every time you have a new chat. You can do that with the paid version, but that's not what I'm doing today, just because this is what is accessible to most of you. Just know that actually, if you do pay for ChatGPT, you can actually train your own specialized chat. And that chat is great for, like, it can actually read your entire book, I think, which is also interesting and awesome. Like, there are interesting potentials for that in terms of, like, read my book and give me a pitch. This is not going to be quite on that level, but it'll be very straightforward, accessible to anyone. A beginner can do this. Obviously, the better you get practicing marketing, recognizing good pitches, creating a go-to example list for yourself of like one-line pitches, the better this process can be. But I am just going into something easy. You could copy and paste this very instruction set into your own ChatGPT, and then provide it with kind of a overview or plot synopsis, lore dump, or whatever you want to call it. Provide that to ChatGPT and use it with very little time, with very little training or preparation. There's more that you could do. This is just the introduction, is what I'm saying. The first thing you want to do is just tell ChatGPT what you are going to do, kind of set the expectation. I have not rigorously tested the difference between doing that and then just diving in, but maybe it's for myself. It just kind of helps me. But for me, all right. So I would like to come up with one sentence book pitches using the following process and examples. So I am just pasting these in step by step so I can go over them with you, but you can see the full text of this prompt down below and copy and paste it in one step if you like. All right, so the first step. First, prompt me for lore that could be used in a book summary, genre, tone, setting, protagonist, villain, / conflict, or unique twists. So that is a great way to kind of summarize elements that might be in a book pitch, right? And it really depends on the book what's most remarkable. So in my book pitch, I highlighted in some of those the action of the protagonist, and some of them I highlighted kind of the setting and the conflict a little bit more without the specific protagonist. You can do either one. You just want it to feel remarkable, match your book in content and tone, and be unique. So I guess that's kind of contained within being remarkable. Second, after I give you the lore, provide a list of 10 pitches. Each pitch should be 16 words or less. You can change that if you like. I think in a lot of ads you'll have less than that, but sometimes I find I really want to reach for 16 words. I try and keep it 16 or less. All right. Match the book so it should be 16 words or less. Match the book in tone and content. It should be engaging, and I'm trying to optimize this. What I'm breaking down for my video is promise the reader something they want. And so I'm trying to describe that to a machine, and I'm trying to break it down a little bit. So promises an exciting experience, creates a mystery, or asks an interesting question are kind of like 3 specific genres of ways to engage the reader. And it should be unique to that book, in parentheses, not feel generic. I just want to kind of drive that home, in part because you probably will get a lot of generic stuff in ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is an average of the internet. So that's, why ChatGPT will not give you amazing answers for the most part is because it's trained on everything, including bad examples. And another reason why it might have a difficult time coming up just if you just said give me 10 book pitches, why they might not be high quality is because most books don't have a good one-sentence summary, as I was saying before. So that's part of the reason why we're going to build in these specific criteria. And again, you can tweak this as you discover how you like to write book pitches and give it more specific instructions. But this is something generic enough that most people could pop this in and use it right away. So third, ask me if I want a revision. If I say yes, evaluate and revise the pitches on brevity, content/tone, engagement, and uniqueness. The evaluation and revision should be in the format, and then I give this example format below. That's a quick GPT hack that I find that if you want it to give you information in a consistent format, then it is helpful to give it a template. Perhaps even better, I kind of did this hastily. Perhaps it would be even better if I actually filled in the ... dots with examples. But I am going to, as the last part of my instructions, I am going to go ahead and provide some general pitch examples. Here are some examples of good pitches drawn from my video. Lesbian necromancers explore a haunted gothic mansion in space. Love that one. A factory kid teams up with the Reckoners to take on the superpowered overlord of Chicago. I'm actually going to take Reckoners out for legal reasons. How much the Sanderson, I don't want the Sanderson team to come back at me and you illegally trained your ChatGPT on the Reckoners, which is trademarked, or something like that. Anyway, so changing that. Who will stand up to supervillains on an Earth without superheroes? That was another one from that video. Just some examples, and I realized like I need to start creating a file of great book one-liners because they're hard to find, like searching wise. I do have a few more examples somewhere else, but again, this is just enough to get us started. I highly recommend that you, so like the rest of this you can copy and paste down to here are some examples of good pitches. I highly recommend you spend the time to figure out what you think is a good pitch and find examples and throw them in there. But yes, these are my examples that are in the description down below. But yeah, and the more examples you give, the better. So like 20 examples would probably be much better than 3, especially if you get good variety. So, but again, this is just a start. ChatGPT 3.5 should be faster than this, but this is a lot of text. All right, so it says, great, let's get started. Please provide me with the lore you'd like to use for your book, including summary, tone, genre, setting, protagonist, villain, conflict, and any unique twist you have in mind. Great, fantastic. So, spoilers, here's a novella I'm working on. I'm working for my novella. Here's the novella I'm working on. It does have some spoilers. Those aren't meant to come out in the actual prompts itself, and I'm not going to go over this, specific by specific. You can check that on the screen if you really want to, but I'm just going to throw that in. All right, boom. All right, so great. With that lore in mind, here are 10 book pitches. Ash, Simeon, and Belle uncover a deadly conspiracy in Echo Gulch's haunted mines. Can they survive the madness? Is that 16 words or less? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It lied! It's in the ballpark. And that is something with ChatGPT. I was finding I had a little bit more success with the paid version where you can train it. It's a little bit more trained on parameters, whereas this one, it just kind of keeps your conversation in context, but is not built around following instructions as well. Some slippage, some difference, but again, ballpark. And we're not going to take any of these word for word. We're going to take pieces that we like. Do we like deadly conspiracy, haunted mines? I actually don't like the haunted mines. I didn't say the mines were haunted. I said that they eat people. There's a difference. The forgotten mines of Echo Gulch crave souls. Ash, Simeon, and Belle must stop their sinister hunger. So really focusing on one aspect of it. Dark humor meets cosmic horror as 3 friends dig into Echo Gulch's sinister past. This might work for people. I don't know. But from some of the pitches that I've looked at and some of the advice I've seen online, like book pitches are best described as describing what happens in the novel, because one, that's instantly more unique and it's more specific. It paints a better image. So like dark humor meets cosmic horror as three friends dig into Echo Gulch's sinister past. Like, okay, the dark humor and cosmic horror might catch people's interest a little bit, but like what is actually happening in the novel, I have no clue. So again, maybe this is something that as I work with this or iterate on this, I can provide the feedback, etc. So a cozy mystery in Echo Gulch unravels as friends search for Simeon's missing sister amid eldritch terror. Okay, you know, that's kind of what we're here for. This is the brainstorm. It gave us like 10 ideas super fast. All right, amid eldritch terror. That's just something I like. And so maybe what I might do right now is just like start copying and pasting pieces of this I like. All right, here's a different piece of the lore it picked up on. Echo Gulch's mayor controls minds through radio towers, and three unlikely heroes are their town's last hope. That sounds a little bit more actiony, not quite the taupe, the tone I was going for, or the taupe for that matter. So Ash, Simeon, and Belle dig because of minds. Yeah, okay. Anyway, it's interesting. All right, you could like, dig deep amid eldritch terrors. Anyway, into Echo Gulch's mysteries, but will they escape its sinister grasp? A town consumed by madness. A trio of friends races against time to unravel Echo Gulch's dark secrets. Echo Gulch's diner conceals horrors, and a trio of friends face cosmic terrors in their search for answers. And these are getting really generic. In a town where minds devour souls. Yeah, a soul-eating minds devour souls. All right, grab that, put that in here. So I got a few gems through this. But the power of this is I've already put the lore in, it's in context, and now I can just have it generate ream after ream of pitches and pick out these pearls till I have, something I really like. Okay, so now I am giving it the feedback. So I'm telling it a lot of the prompts were kind of generic. Specifically, I give examples, again, of what I'm seeing, and that's a big thing with ChatGPT. Unfortunately, it's trained on the internet. Maybe someday we'll get to the point where we can have AI where it's better trained on our sample sets. We're kind of getting there, but we're not there yet. In any case, providing your own examples of what you mean is extremely helpful, kind of like it would be to a normal human intern. Kind of scary. Anyway. So a lot of these prompts were kind of generic. A mood, a genre, saying there is a mystery, but not giving specifics. Give me 10 more specific prompts. Don't use genre terms like cozy mystery, cosmic horror. Instead, use words that evoke a cozy feeling, like diner, friends, small town, or cosmic horror, eldritch horror, minds eating the town, and secret cults, etc. Secret cult founded by the mayor. I didn't actually tell it that that's kind of what happened, but we'll treat it that way. We'll update it. So, all right. So now, given that, there's 10 more, and we'll see what gems we find here. In Echo Gulch, a quaint diner. Great. Quaint diner. All right. Conceals eldritch horrors, and three friends must save their town from man-eating minds. Right? There, that's actually pretty close. Like, a quaint diner, drop off Echo Gulch, yeah. Let's see, let's have revise those. I'm gonna tell it to revise those prompts. Removing Echo Gulch because no one is going to know what the heck Echo Gulch is. Colorful language. All right, there we go. A quaint diner. It's not following my format. Again, kind of an issue with the free, the free version. We'll see if we can, on another set, get it to actually do the evaluation rather than just the revision. A quaint diner hides eldritch horrors, and three friends must save their town from doom. The last part is generic, but a quaint diner hides eldritch horrors, right? sort of true. I'm not sure exactly if that's what I want to pitch, but it's not a bad part of this. Ash, Simeon, and Belle stumble upon a journal revealing a sinister mayor's secret cult. All right. I don't think you need to say sinister if you have secret cult. So we can drop that piece, but like stumble upon, a journal revealing the mayor's secret cult. Beneath the town's facade lies an ancient evil that hungers for its soul. Yeah, you and every other Lovecraftian town. So, a trio of friends unearth the dark history where minds devour people, and the mayor controls minds. I think, like, minds and minds, that's an interesting wordplay. Malevolent plan for a mayor's malevolent plan for re-election. I like that. That's the dark satire. It's a little bit Lovecraft meets Don't Look Up. So we've gotten a bunch of ideas, and I really could go ahead and try to assemble my own pitch with the interesting gems we found, but I'm gonna go ahead and just see if anything comes out when I ask it to do the evaluate and revise step. Why did I include that? There were some studies early on, and I think with this version, the free version of ChatGPT 3.5, that said like actually prompting it to give you multiple answers, to evaluate those answers, and then revise and or select the best in a series of steps actually helped it arrive at technically better answers at tests. So that is the reason why I kind of broke apart. I don't tell it to come up with 10 answers and then evaluate and revise in the same post. I kind of broke it out because ChatGPT seems to do better with that, and sometimes that can yield a better answer. All right. And it's using, all right, now that I use not only just the revise, but evaluate and revise, it kind of picked up on that and then used my template. So, a quaint diner hides eldritch horrors and three friends must save the town on their own. Engaging, intriguing, but could be more concise, okay? A cozy diner conceals eldritch horrors and three friends fight to save their town. Marginal improvement. Ash, Simeon, and Belle stumble upon a journal revealing a sinister mayor's secret cult. Specific and engaging, but slightly long. Okay, it's saying this for all of them. Three friends discover a journal exposing a sinister mayoral cult. Three friends, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Like, no one knows who Ash, Simeon, and Belle are. Maybe that gives you a more personal connection to them. Maybe three friends is better. Something to test. All right. Okay, here's one where beneath the town's facade lies an ancient evil that hungers for its soul. I literally made fun of ChatGPT for this being generic, and it actually picked up on that in its evaluation. Creates mystery and intrigue, but somewhat generic. An ancient evil lurks beneath, craving the town's souls. Absolute fail. So I think this is one of the things where it's like, you kind of get what you pay for in the free version. I have seen better evaluations and revisions in the Book Pitch Pro ChatGPT that I created using the paid version. But again, it might give you some ideas. Where minds devour and the mayor controls minds. Where minds devour. Okay, that's something kind of sticks in your head. Minds devour and the mayor controls minds. That might be confusing, but it also might work. Sometimes adding a little friction, like, wait, minds and minds. Sometimes if that gets someone to read something a second time and process it, that can be an effective marketing tool. So who knows? That might be a gem. So I could continue asking it to evaluate the prompts, especially with the free version. I think you're going to get more leverage out of just generating a crap ton of prompts, but it's an option available to you. And should you have the paid version, you can kind of prompt this into your own GPT creator, which can follow instructions a little bit better and is a little smarter. So how do you use this? Well, you can take these pieces, craft a one-sentence pitch. If you want to see examples of me crafting one-sentence pitch, go ahead and check out that video again. But you can then drop this in conversation or in social media posts to get feedback and drive interest to that. When you find a pitch that's successful, you can use it to sign up people, get people to follow you or sign up to your newsletter saying, hey, if you want to, this is my book, here's the pitch, when it comes out, or if you want to know when it comes out, join my newsletter, etc. So those are all sorts of different ways you could use this in marketing. It's really powerful. Really versatile. More important than a book back blurb that's a paragraph. No one's going to remember that in a conversation, and you won't have that much space in an ad. And often you'll have lost someone's attention already if you're posting that first in a social media post. So that a one sentence compelling book summary or pitch is really powerful. And obviously this process, two things about this process. One, this process will get better the more experience you have and the more examples you have and the more you can tell it specifically in the criteria for what makes a good pitch, what works for you, and then you create your own list of examples that you made up or for books you like, etc. And then you will get results that are more tailored to you, although this works fine if you are just stuck and haven't been marketing like quite a few indie authors or haven't been marketing as much as you want. This is a good way to start generating useful marketing copy by just copy pasting that and then writing about your book in the prompt. So you can use this, but it does get better. It can get better if you train it. And then the other thing is obviously the same process you could use for other sorts of marketing copy. You could use this for a title, a book blurb, a social media post, a newsletter email, any of those things. You could tweak the criteria and tweak the examples and then have ChatGPT kind of creating you rough drafts. And this gets more powerful the more copy you have to produce. Now, don't take an email verbatim from ChatGPT. Again, it's an intern. It's going to give you kind of mediocre results until it gets to know you better, at least. And you provide it with lots of good examples and feedback. But it can give you a starting place. If you haven't written a newsletter for a while, I need to work on that. I am going to have ChatGPT help me format that letter, and then I'm probably going to rewrite almost every sentence and then go back with Grammarly quickly to make sure that I don't have all of those typos that you saw as I copy and type on the screen, right? So great time-saving tip, Grammarly. Maybe someday they'll be a sponsor. Anyway, if you checked out the pitch video and want more videos on things like how to write a good title, book blurb, social media post, newsletter, email, etc., then just subscribe because I will continue creating more of this content. But I would say start with the book pitch, because the book pitch can then be used in all of the other ones, whereas you can't shove an email in a title of a social media post or an ad. So start here and then expand to those others, and I will eventually create those videos, so subscribe to get them. Oh, and by the way, I would love a longer list of good example book pitches. It is hard to find good ones. I think I have like 5 really good ones or 5 interesting ones that I felt were pretty good. I've been on Amazon, and frequently a lot of the best-selling books sell by name recognition alone and don't have book pitches, and a lot of the one-sentence book summaries, again, are kind of tongue-in-cheek and not really don't inspire genuine readers to be interested in the book. They're more making fun of the book or trying to make the book sound super generic. So if you could go ahead and comment down below your favorite one-line book pitches or practice your own book pitch, I think it would be a great resource for other people watching this video that we could then compile a list of good examples we can throw in ChatGPT and hopefully improve the quality of the content that we're getting out of it by having a longer list of better examples. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on the Ubiquitous Tavern.